Hello everyone. I haven't bothered with all of this as ever stuff, to be honest with you. Other than I think the last time I kind of ventured and dabbled into it was well, all this Instagram PR bullshit was when I uncovered that the whole branding and all of it was done, all of her cooking show, including this product line and this business launch, was done at the time that Kate was supposedly sick. Well, she wasn't sick at that time, she was missing. And it was put on hold because of Catherine, because this is, of course, a palace PR controlled narrative. And today I'm going to prove it even more so. If you follow me on my community posts, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to show you today. But I unpacked, as my friends have said, I have unpicked and unpacked this very, very quickly. Meaning I've unpacked as ever as a PR con, another palace PR con. And once it was questioned, straight away, within 28 minutes, a Royal Rota article was popped up to steer the public about what I was questioning, which also shows, I've already discussed, and it's a very kind of common, especially with Barkjack, that fake journalist account on social media telling us in, 2024, 2023, that through intelligence, the monarchy monitors social media. And we all know at this point that we are censored through algorithm and AI, but that intelligence uses social media to behaviorally steer all the propaganda of today's day and age. So nothing is wrong or right anymore. Nothing is true or false. As soon as somebody is exposing something else that they don't want exposed, what they usually do is they get their controlled accounts or their mainstream media publishers, and they publish information to steer you in a different way, with the half truth, with the same propaganda, well, the same truth that you're trying to spout, but steering it in a way that, for example, Meghan Markle is bad, rather than the palace are liable, because this is a Royal Rota article. And it directly connects then the palace and Royal Rota to MI6 and to intelligence monitoring my account, social media, and all of these channels and any algorithms to ensure that this PR narrative keeps going the way they wish it to. And that's how powerful, that's the power we're talking about, and that's how big Megxit and Meghan Markle actually is. Some of you don't realize how much you are brainwashed and why, but mostly the power of it, and just how easy it is for them to steer with propaganda to keep this narrative alive. And when they fail, and when they come up with discrepancies and gaps and weaknesses, like, for example, like when I pointed out, they are quick to use that to turn it on Meghan Markle, because it's an easy job now. Like, that's the whole point of creating the narcissist Meghan Markle, creating the bad guy Meghan Markle, creating the evil in Meghan Markle and what she did, because now, illogically, without you thinking critically about any of it, it will be blamed on Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle created the business. Or if she didn't create the business, now that I'm pointing it out, she didn't create the business. She just pays everyone else to create the business, and she's branding herself, and it's all her again. Like, do you see how there's no justification or rationale behind it? And I'm going to go through this with you today. So initially, what got me a bit triggered, because I'm business savvy, is the whole look of Meghan Markle cooking on the stove and then packaging her products and selling them. Firstly, in America and Australia, pretty much worldwide, you need a commercial kitchen or a manufacturing plant to be commercially viable to not just produce the jam and then package it. Well, you need it to be viable to produce the jam and package it. So there's no, you need a commercial license. You can't be registered as a business if you don't have a commercial kitchen or plant. So that needs to actually be done before you actually get registered as you need a license, like a food license. I think is it FDA or something in America, but you need a license to operate a food business. I know she's a multi-product kind of girl, but she needs a food license and it needs to be food registered, and it needs to be commercially feasible to be legal. So she can't cook shit over the stove and then package it. That's just branding. And maybe we can justify it as just branding, right? But when you sell products, on the labels, you need to have the manufacturing address on the products. And I'm going to get to that shortly, but it needs to be, that's what's legally required. Your e-commerce address may be different, but your manufacturing address needs to be labeled on the product. And usually speaking, you need to have a return policy. I also want to point out that I am very, very, very not sure either it was on the same day or this has been photoshopped in, but Meghan is wearing the same clothing as she was wearing in one of her cooking show episodes, one of the first ones. It's a Northwestern University jumper, white with blue, and jeans that are a bit that you can see the ankle. And this imagery was also shown when she was launching her show before it came out, where she was holding Guy the Beagle. So, other than it being a long time ago, she was also in 2 different studios or houses on the same day. I doubt very much that I really strongly doubt, obviously I already know and have proven that Montecito is leased, but why would she film the cooking show in that other Santa Barbara ranch, and then come to her fake house and cook some jam? Anyway, and all the pictures and imagery you'll see of this, if you actually study it, all the pots have been planted. She's not really cooking. It's all a show. It's all an acting gig, as everything is. It's all a part of this PR narrative that the palace has put out, to keep you distracted, to keep you believing and being angry over something that doesn't exist, including Meghan Markle. So that's a very interesting point, is that she was in 2 places at the same day. And what's silly is I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's even feasible, because you would film in one location. If you weren't filming in the other, then why would you film in both? Interesting to me, but yeah, that's just a little point to point out. Now, other than that, I kind of didn't really want to, there was no reason in getting involved in all of this drama. I don't want to feed the beast. I don't want to feed this bullshit. You have all the Mexican community for that. But at this point, what people, the Mexican community are, spouting is just, making fun of all the products of Meghan, the branding, I don't know, the marketing she's attempting to do, because of course it's her marketing, um, and all of that. Because I have a background in business, I know just how much it takes to, first of all, and how many people and teams it takes to register a business, the way she has, and trademark it with lawyers with a lot of money, and then to market it the way she has, and then to have a cooking show alongside it the way she has, and then to have an e-commerce website the way she has, and then to have manufacturing, as I said, or commercial kitchen the way she would need to. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and one person wouldn't be operating this sole business, like cooking in a kitchen on her own with her dogs. And none of all of that is hidden from you. So it's a very interesting when from a business perspective, but not interesting in terms of when you've got the Mexican community going, I refuse to try her products because it comes from Meghan Markle. I refuse to feed this evil woman, or whatever they want to spout about, whatever narrative they're trying to pull. But what you're not seeing is that they're trying to convince you that this business is real and that it's been operating, that she's selling these products, that she's giving them to all these celebrities and guests, and you can just go and order it. And I was sent through a DM this post by... Oh, well, it's by a different person called Cambridge Power or Royal Wales, but it was in terms of what Royal News Network had said, that she had... The Royal News Network is a social media account by the name, I think, of... People could keep saying Brittany. She also... I was told she met Catherine when she went to the Jubilee, supposedly coincidentally. I'm not... from a land of ignorance, so I know that that's definitely not coincidental. But anyway, let's move on to Royal News Network. She said that she's managed to purchase almost all the products, or if not all the products, off of Meghan Markle's As Ever website. And she'll be unboxing and doing a review. And Royal Wales here is just really upset and pissed off that basically there's a Megxit account, a community account, that's actually feeding Meghan Markle and her business and her products. Which, if you were to believe this narrative, then yeah, you would definitely be upset. And has every right to be, because it's hypocrisy at its finest. And you can't slag off for years and years this one woman and then go buy her products. It's just absurd. But I was like, okay, whatever. And I look, and she's said this. It's not, you can't probably review a product without buying it. That's all. It only disproves a lot of the crazy conspiracy theories. Yeah, okay. So conspiracy theories, basically, yeah. I don't know. This is all just a moral justification on Britney's position over nothing. Disproves a lot of crazy conspiracy theories that there are no products, or that she somehow faked some sort of publicity stunt. I'm all for criticizing Meghan and have done so endlessly, but the conspiracy theories that proliferate against her do more harm than good. It makes her haters look crazy, deal in facts, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I love that. I love how genuine accounts try to be with others. and how defensive they try to be and morally justified. I deal with facts, and everyone else deals with conspiracy. Let's all try for better. I'm not going to just complain from afar. I have to be fair, ignore my bias, and give it a shot. Girl, it's fucking jam. You don't have to do shit. This is a part of feeding the drama. It's part of feeding the narrative. It's not real. Like, there's nothing to ignore your bias about and investigate. This is not investigating. This is not journalism. This is nothing. This is really you just feeding the beast of this narrative. But anyway, what I find interesting is when she says dealing with the facts, and she's proven, supposedly, in this assumption, under this whole statement, the understanding from my side and from anyone reading it is that she's now come to the full conclusion with proof that Meghan isn't selling a false business and false products that aren't actually selling online, that it's just a front. She's proven that, and she's only dealing with facts because but she's dealing with facts by subjectively, personally talking about Meghan and giving her products a shot, but without actually proving that at all that the business is operational or that the products are real. If not, she doesn't realize and she's not aware that it could lead to more questioning as to, well, the products still may not be sellable online and you may have received them in a different kind of way. Like every other PR staging of this as ever product delivery and sell, like all these videos and these pictures of these celebrities and these people receiving these jams and so forth. It's all, if you know about business, that's just a part of a marketing campaign. So it could completely still be a business not fully operational, especially if you do not have a manufacturing operation to legalize this food manufacturing and to ensure business feasibility. And that's kind of where my head was at when I read this. I was like, well, not really. Somebody under this comment also said, well, the products sold out straight away. So how could you order almost all the products and receive them? Please show a receipt, which is fair. If you want to talk about facts, then you have to provide the receipt, and you can provide, this is how I have to deal with things when I say, let's say, wink, wink, a conspiracy, which is truth. I have to prove my standpoint. Why can't any of these accounts do the same and follow the same rules and while pretending at the same time they are, and that they're somehow more self-righteous and more in the right than let's say I am. You have to apply the same rules. And that's very, very true. I didn't know that because I didn't follow it. But if if the products were sold straight away, then how could she order them? And the justification there has been that the products, that this labeling the products as sold out is a marketing ploy. Not necessarily true. But it could also mean, if people are really questioning it, it could also mean that the products aren't actually for sale. And all of it is a whole PR staging, which I now strongly believe, considering what has taken place since I have commenced engaging in this whole spectacle. So I scroll down and I well, I'm scrolling down now to show you my response. And I said, but you don't know it's her business. Fun fact, these products need to be made in a commercial kitchen or manufacturing operation. That would mean including the registration of her trademark and business and domain, that she isn't operating the business per se. Reviewing this is bullshit clout. Because it is. It's as simple as that. You don't know. You have yet to prove, and you have not proven that Meghan Markle is operating this business in any way, shape, or form. She definitely didn't trademark her business, her logos, and her things. That takes stuff of lawyers, and that takes a team that knows what the fuck they're doing. Meghan Markle is too busy pretending to cook jam on a stove and cuddle her dog and travel between studios and try new clothes and perform and look at her script to act and pretend that this is all real and pretend that she's got a brand and she is a brand, and to pretend she's got fake kids and to pretend she's got a fake husband and pretend that she lives in fake Montecito, when she's so preoccupied that she's planted in there. That's all she's there to do. She has not registered this business. She has not trademarked this business. And she definitely, by the looks of this PR campaign, does not actually operate it. As a one-person operational business, she would barely be able to make jam, because she would need a manufacturing plant, she would need a team. She's wealthy, yes, but you would need to, if she's actually operating this business, let's say she's an entrepreneur and she's actually operating this business, she would be there operating. She would be there managing it, not looking at labels and cooking shit on the stove. That's not reality. That's not how you operate a business. So that got me curious, because at this point I'm like, this is just bullshit. This is like, I mean, obviously this Brittany doesn't respond because she can't, because she's got fuck all. But then it gets me looking into, let me see here. That's Hastings snoring, don't mind him. It got me looking into the actual website, because I'm like, okay, so have they got a manufacturing operation actually listed on the website under their FAQ or FAQ, or under their questions, or their about, or down the bottom of their website? Because usually speaking, well, in Australia, for a food business, usually speaking, you have the headquarters listed and you have the manufacturing address listed. In Australia, it's very strict, especially with food businesses. You have to have an understanding of where these foods have been manufactured and if it's been a legal operation, but also to be able to locate if a problem arises, such as contamination, such as a defunct product, or a product line, like a whole line of product. Let's say the raspberries are contaminated, which happens a lot. Berries are very easily contaminated, very easily contaminated food. When that happens, you need a return or a refund policy firstly, and then you also need to the ombudsman, or the food ombudsman for the government, needs to go to the manufacturing plant and needs to investigate further as to how the food was contaminated. They need to source the location. They need to understand what's taken place, and there needs to be a full investigation to take place. And then if it's a whole line of product, the whole line needs to be wiped out and needs to be taken off the shelves of every stockist you've got. So, or to be taken off if you're not stocking anywhere, which is another thing as well. Megan isn't stocking any of these products in any like stores, which is also interesting from a business standpoint, because that would be one of the biggest things that you do to multiply your revenue stream in your production, especially if you're manufacturing, because it'd be by mass. You would then be trying to sell in stores all around America, and to get this out more, rather than just an e-commerce website that's solely giving out these products. It's strange, no? Anyway, it's not just how feasible Megan's marketing plan is, or her branding, or who's operating her e-commerce business. It's how feasible this actual business is. It's not feasible to say that Megan is growing raspberries from her garden and picking them by hand and cooking them over the stove, and then cutting ribbons and cutting her own labels and putting them on a glass jar to then sell on an e-commerce website where hundreds, if not thousands, are purchasing this product. That is not a feasible business model, and it's definitely not something that could work, especially with the branding and everything else doesn't add up to that sort of business model either. And her wealth and her money behind it doesn't add up to that either. So doesn't really make any sense. Anyway, I go on the website and I find that the website is actually, now this is at night, this post is at 9:30 p.m. last night, my time, right? Just keep that in mind. 9:30 p.m. last night, I post this question to Snow Commerce, who I find out is running the Meghan Markle's e-commerce website. Snow Commerce is based in Ohio, Cincinnati, and it's run by, I think it's Printable. There was an acquisition in 2023 by, I think it's called Printable. So it was acquired in 2023, but their founder, the Snow Commerce's founder, Rick Simpson, was going to continue working on enterprise deals and so forth. That's what I got from what I read. And it's based in Ohio. And so that's a very long way from California. And it's odd. And I thought, okay, that's weird. So you've got an e-commerce web. This company is actually, it doesn't, as ever, or Megan isn't actually operating this e-commerce site at all whatsoever. It's in the hands of Snow Commerce. And so anytime you want to contact anyone, it's Snow Commerce. And the website is hosted by Shopify, etc., etc. So I'm wondering, for anyone to request a manufacturing address, should be public information and just should be a simple request. If this is an operating business, Snow Commerce, and if it's operating this e-commerce website, it's like you asking any e-commerce website that you've ever been on through their chat box, hey, a question about the product. It's as simple as that. So you're asking for them a legally required manufacturing address is a normal question to ask, because on the packaging, it needs to be labeled there anyway. And if you're asking about it, it's not a big deal because it's meant to be public information when you buy the products anyway. So I find this out and I ask Snow Commerce, what is the address and the name of As Ever's manufacturing operation, seeing that's legally required to sell the items you're selling as you operate its e-commerce store at your Ohio base? What's the address for product returns? Because as well, as I said, with contamination and stuff like that, you need to return the product so they can actually test the product. They can test the food item to ensure what the issue was, if it was contaminated. Because if you do state it was contaminated and that you're ill, you have a legal case, and it could be a big law case. If you're not covered and protected and you don't follow the proper investigation, because if hundreds are ill from your jam, then you have an issue. You have a very big problem, and that needs to be investigated. It's a part of operating a food business. Not to mention the insurance that you're going to need. So I asked that, and I just thought that Snow Commerce would get back to me. I actually didn't believe at this point when I was asking these questions, I didn't believe that As Ever wasn't selling any products. I didn't really care enough, right? I just thought, well, it's an e-commerce site. She's got some products. Wowee, it's a fucking jam. And they're selling it. Okay. And this Brittany from Royal News has bought and is going to receive these products. And she's trying to justify her purchase with absolute bullshit, which I've just told her how. How would you know that she operates the business? How would you say everything else is conspiracy if you don't know what you're talking about? So we're at this point. And while I think, hold on, let me have a look here. I think another point to mention is if you look under the FAQ, under orders, cancellations, or returns, because of the type of products we sell, we're not able to accept returns. That for me is a huge red flag. Usually speaking, I know that the return policy and refund policy in America is discretionary based on the product and based on the business. But you're talking about things that can easily be contaminated. You're talking about food items where things can be a big issue, and product lines can be completely wiped out, as I said, due to contamination, especially with berries. Legally, I just don't see how you selling food items, you wouldn't have a return policy. And I checked that to see if they had the address of the manufacturing operation and plant, because that's where you would return the items, usually speaking. Or you'd have information about that anyway. So Snow Commerce doesn't get back to me whatsoever regarding that last comment. And then I see, while I'm not waiting around, I'm still just online, but I see later on that this account, who by the way has blocked me, this Megxit account, God knows for what reason, but you don't need a reason these days other than to steer. This one is pretending like it's exclusive revealing news that Snow Commerce is a seller. So there's no information. So before I asked this question to Snow Commerce, right, at 9:30 p.m. last night, no one has batted an eye in regards to, I think some people have questioned Snow Commerce, like as in how they operate in the business, but there was no real big issue. And no one was actually asking the legality or legitimacy, like I have, of the actual business and the operations, right? And I kid you not, last night, this account then talks about a Royal Rota article of Snow Commerce is a seller of merchandise. Megan did not make or create anything. This is a cheap drop shipping operation using a firm with poor reviews. So all of a sudden the drama's been turned about this business called Snow Commerce, which no one was talking about or using as part of this PR narrative of as ever, until at 9:30 last night I asked that question. And I look into the actual... Oh, that's not it. That's it. I look into this article, and this was posted at 9:58 p.m., 28 minutes after I posted to Snow Commerce asking for the manufacturing operation location of Meghan Markle's business. Revealed, Meghan Markle's as ever online shop is run by truly awful US web firm accused of flogging items that never existed, as Duchess faces claims of using marketing ploy to boost sales and harvest data. Do you see how they've used it? They've flipped it around. They've turned it around. Because this... Now they're stating, because people are asking too many questions like myself about the actual legality of its operations, they're now changing the whole narrative, sub-narrative, but still blaming Meghan Markle. She's liable for it, this whole orchestration. So this whole time you've been made to believe it's true, and now it's not. 28 minutes after I've asked those questions to Snow Commerce. This account continues. Oh, where is it? Snow Commerce of Cincinnati is Meghan's fulfillment drop shipper. They have poor reviews. So you see how every time they re-steer this sub-narrative, or these sub-narratives, that it's always a trivial thing that they always use. Oh, poor reviews. Oh no, the drama. Oh, look at Meghan Markle's feet. Oh, it's the same shit. Oh, Meghan Markle's a narcissist. She'll do anything. She's just a fraud. She knew exactly who to contact in Ohio, in Cincinnati. She has all of those contacts, and she has a manufacturing plant, and she has the lawyers required to trademark her work and to register, to get those tax havens and everything else, and to also brand the way she has, but also to pause her branding for a year while Kate was missing. Yeah, that's all Meghan. It's all Meghan. Meghan is a business master. Didn't study business, doesn't have a business degree, but knows everything about business to manage every department and every aspect of it. And to also con you at the same time. Yep, it's true. It's so true. And so this ties again with the whole, what I started with if 28 minutes later these articles have come out to expose Meghan, well, basically because the business, the facade, which I'm now realizing is a PR facade, this whole operating business, that nothing was actually sold, and that Britney's a part of this scheme, which is, you know, as usual. That this all came undone, and it's connected to intelligence monitoring my account and monitoring social media, and then getting in contact with Royal Rota, and then Royal Rota publishing an article to buffer this these investigations or interrogations or questioning as soon as it came out, 28 minutes later. It's unimaginable that this is true, but it is. You didn't have any articles about this prior. Nothing. Nada. It's surprising to me, even, that this is how quickly they operate and how directly they operate. So you've got the Palace MI6 or intelligence directly corresponding, and monitoring and arranging a bulletproof strategy to protect themselves. So there you have it. I know that's taken a lot longer than probably it should have, but it was a nice chat, and yeah, I think I wanted to just say a quick RIP to Val Kilmer. He was a wonderful actor and just a memorable person and identity and presence. And it's funny, like, so many times you don't realize somebody until they're gone because you're just so distracted with crap and life and everything else. But when they go, you're like, it kind of like wounds you, just really hits you hard. And that's definitely something that's happened with Val Kilmer passing away. Yeah, deeply respect him. And I feel a bit like Doc Holliday at the moment with this whole ridiculousness. But, here I am fucking up their game plan as never, because As Ever was never a business, an operating business. Never happened. And all I did was ask a question about a manufacturing plant address. And this is where we're at the moment. And you'll see Megxit community accounts all over pretend like this is breaking news, pretend like this is a release, that they're the ones leading this PR. They've been told to lead this PR and pretend like it's breaking and to distract you with shit and to make you go, oh, look over there. Yeah, it's Meghan Markle. She's a fucking cunt. She's an absolute cunt of a woman, and she's the one who instigated all this. And you're never going to look at the real problem, which is, As Ever, all of this branding that was put on pause for over a year, and all of this cooking show and all of this shit is just an orchestration. Is just a complete narrative run by the palace, yours truly. Like, there's nothing else to say. Anyway, thanks, guys.